Hey everyone, in this video we're going to go over using the floor plan editor and the reference image object to help you build out spaces that you already have documentation for. So first things first, we're going to jump into our files section instead of using our quick start. I've already got a folder set up here with some reference documentation for us. And I'll hit create a space. Give it a name. And I'll go to complex to start with an empty space. Now to pull in those images that we were just looking at as our reference documentation, come over to reference, select an image, and then I've got our example stuff right here. So you'll notice that this isn't in the same folder I was just in. This is outside of our Modus folder. If I hit open, it'll say it wants to create a copy of it and place it into the folder where our project is going to be, which is what we want it to do. So we'll go ahead and hit copy. All right. We have our image in here, and we can import PNGs, JPGs, JPEGs, no PDFs. You'll just have to take a screenshot of it and save it as a file or as a photo format so we can import it. We can adjust our transparency here, and I'm already in recalibrate mode. So I can draw a line to calibrate this. I can go ahead and hit 8,000 millimeters. Okay. If for whatever reason I didn't calibrate it correctly, or if I need to use some other kind of reference line, I can come over here. It'll put me back in my recalibrate mode, and I can recalibrate. So I can go 12,100. All right. Once that's set up, we go out of our reference mode, and we're back into our wall drawing mode. I like to adjust my snapping options here. So this is going to be the increments that it draws the walls in and also moves them in. So I'm going to get it a little more accurate than 6 inches. I do 1 inch at a time. And just press and hold, left mouse button. That'll get you a wall. I can draw another one. I can run it up into this wall and then adjust it to make that flush 90-degree angle there. Or I can press and hold Control, click and drag off of one of these end nodes here, and it'll create an attached wall. I'll just get everything to 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. And then I'll move my walls so they're lined up with our floor plan here. You'll notice they have this blue inside edge. That means that we're using our inside measurements. So if I had a measurement from across the room here, I'd be able to type that in here. This is important if I ever resize the room. It'll know which measurement to look at when I'm doing the resize from inside the software. Everything looks like it's lined up pretty well. You'll notice I didn't put any of my doors or columns, or if there I had inside walls that were in the room. Those don't get added at this time. You're only tracing the outside walls here. And it doesn't have to be a rectangle. It could be whatever shape. You would just follow your floor plan that you've imported. Once we're ready to actually jump into the software and work in this space, I'll hit save and then open in Modus. It'll take a moment, open up the software, and pull us right into that space that we just made. All right, we're in. So you'll see that we've got our walls that we set up there, and that's about it. Looks like a pretty standard rectangular room. I am able to change these dimensions. Since it is a rectangular room, if I had made an octagon or a hexagon, it wouldn't let me change these width and length. It would only let me change my height. To work with our reference documentation, we're going to need to pull in our reference image object. And then before I do any other edits, I like to put the height up pretty high I'm going to put it at 50 feet just so I can kind of get a good top-down view of the space before I actually put any objects in there. So we've got our reference image here. If I go to properties, I can find our floor plan. See, it's pretty red. I can either fade it out by doing our resize handle up at the top. I can also change the color or invert the image so it's a lot more readable. And it looks like I grabbed our elevation drawing and not our floor plan. There we go. Next step is we need to scale this to match our room. So again, I'll just take our scale line. I'll just scale it until it looks just about right. Then I can move it. Get everything lined up here. Looks like I went a little bit too big, so I'll dial it back in a little bit. Just do a little bit of adjustments to make sure everything is in place where it needs to be. All right, I got this corner lined up. This corner is looking good. This corner is looking good. If I need to take like a peek underneath the wall, I could change these objects to glass. Take a look under the wall, but everything is lined up. I'll just undo that. So now that I don't need this super tall ceiling, I'll bring it back down to where we were before. We were at 9 feet. And now I can use this to help lay out all my pieces. So I could pull in my table. Stuff that we covered in our previous videos. You just start laying all these pieces out. And you've got this reference floor plan on here to help you do that. Now, to work with our elevation, we're going to do something similar. We're going to go to reference image, put it on whatever wall we have an elevation for. I'm going to select our drawing. Again, I can adjust it in and out. I can invert it. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll get rid of our baseboard here. I can get the floor level set right. But first, I should scale this. So this one, I don't have like a wall that's necessarily going to be the correct size. Instead, I have these dimensions. I'm just going to use any kind of object. I'm going to use a floating shelf here. And I'm just going to make it so we match one of these dimensions. The bigger the better, usually, in terms of accuracy. So I'll go 48 inches. That looks pretty good. And I'm just going to line it up. Oh, wow. Looks like I almost scaled it perfectly, just right off the bat. Just needs to be slightly bigger. I'll just get this to match up on the top and the bottom here, so that I know that I've got this scaled right. All right, that's looking good. Now I can move my image. I've got my floor level here. Put that at floor level. And I could just start adding the AV elements in this elevation. Same deal. I got my camera, my screens. I just start adding those objects on top of it. Into the right locations based off the drawing. So that's just a quick tutorial on how to get your objects or your floor plans into Modus to help you build out rooms that you've already got documentation for. Right? We've got a column here. We could add if I spell it right. We can have it just match up right there. So we know we've got everything in the right places. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Happy building.